Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamer Nerds. This is your host, V, and today we have a very special announcement. I'll be joined by my sister, Salem, today for the podcast. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Salem. Y'all previously knew me as Leroy. I'm actually gonna be transitioning, and it's been a very pleasant experience and a shit show at the same time. So, I officially go by Salem now. She, her. Yeah, let's change topics. All right, so, um, other big announcement. We are officially on every single podcast website and
That we
app.
could possibly think of.
No, literally, I've checked every. I've Googled and Googled and
Seriously?
Googled and Googled and Googled, and I'm like, nope, that one, we're on that one. Nope, we're on that one. Nope, we're on that one. Unless I need to go like 3 pages into Google, which that should never be a thing.
No one should ever go past the first page of Google.
Honestly, then we are on every single one. But for our first topic, we were both going to do a review over the Monster Hunter Rise beta, but one of us has a full-time job. And the other one,
unfortunately, the full-time job kind of takes precedence over video games.
yeah.
Gotta pay them bills.
Oh yeah.
Gotta pay them bills.
If you don't, then
Hate it.
no podcast.
But so I should be able to download that sometime tonight or tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get it into next week's podcast.
Yeah. As of right now, I've only played 2 games. I will say I don't play Monster Hunter on a controller. Monster Hunter World, I've gotten used to keyboard and mouse, so it's a little weird for me, and it's definitely a change.
Well, I started playing Monster Hunter on, believe it or not, the Wii. I think it was Try or whatever it was called, and then I went from the Wii into the DS.
Yeah.
So I'm used to like controller for Monster Hunter, but it is gonna get weird getting used to it again.
Yeah. I do gotta say, I love what they've done. I love that you have 2 things helping you constantly. Your mount and every. So the mount apparently synchronizes with your attack. So when you swing, it swings.
That's cool.
And let's say you swinged, but you got knocked over because it hit you, it still swings. It'll still attack on its own occasionally, but it makes sure to at least keep up with your pace. So they're, unlike the Palicos in World, just it kind of drops off because they don't attack as often. They're more utility. But I digress.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah. So we'll be going more in depth when we both have a better review on it. I believe I still have all 30 of my online things, which, by the way, there are only 30 online uses. Like, you can only do 30 missions online with a friend or more than one friend.
But apparently you can do as many as you want for the
solo and stuff. But then in solo, there's only 2 things you can fight over and over again. Anyways, I don't know about the multiplayer though, because I have no one to play with yet. But moving on, our next topic's actually over Riot, like Riot Games as a whole. V's gonna go over specifically
some
League of Legends stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over Valorant, and then we're both gonna go over TFT because those are the only 3 games that pique our interest on it. Like, yeah, there's the other 2.
There's like the quote the not Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Card game.
Runeterra and Wild Rift, which isn't that just the phone version, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it has surprisingly better graphics in some places than the computer game does, which is so frustrating because like I've seen the models for Twisted Fate and Lulu, and both of those models just look spectacular. And then you look at League of Legends and you just have to laugh.
Oh, before we do get into those topics, I do want to talk a little bit about like what Riot, like Riot Games when it was founded, stuff like that. So Riot Games was founded back in like 2006 to develop, publish, and support like most player-focused games in the world. In 2009, they released League of Legends worldwide. Uh, League has gone to be like their most played game ever on PC, and a key driver for most of their like growth. It definitely had an explosive growth in esports specifically. Um, I think that's what honestly popped them off the most is whenever people were like, "Whoa, this is like really good esports." Which I like watching League. I don't like playing it. I like watching it, so I can understand how like the pro scene, like the esports, popped off. Um, as League entered its second or enters its second decade, they're continuing to like work on games that while delivering like new experiences to players, with Teamfight Tactics, Runeterra, Valorant, League of Legends, Wild Rift, and multiple work in progress titles.
I will say this: they do a lot of like minor upgrades, like more
Yeah,
quality of life things. I wouldn't say they do a lot of balancing because they still have some characters that are, let's say, broken. Um,
yeah.
but also, you have to know how to exploit that sort of thing. So it's honestly, I really enjoyed their newest UI overhaul, especially for the shop. It actually it was graphically primo design there. Whoever was running that project,
Hell
kudos.
yeah. Um, they have the annual League of Legends World Championship, which features qualified esports teams. I think from 12 international leagues. Last time I saw it was like 10, but apparently it's 12 now. Um, it's most widely viewed and followed esports tournament amongst the largest and most popular gaming and sports events in the world. I don't know exactly what ranking it has, like its esports specifically compared to other esports, but I know it's definitely up there. The company itself was founded by Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill, and led by CEO Nicola Laurent. Riot's headquarters is in Los Angeles, California, of course, like most are. It has over 3,000 like employees, over 20 offices worldwide. And as they like to boast about on their website, is they're certified as a great place to work. Everywhere does that, so I normally don't look at that. Um, let's see here. If you want to hear about their values, apparently their values are player experience first. Eh, I will say there are times that their updates aren't 100% in the player experience, so they can't exactly say player experience first. Dare to Dream. They have done some weird characters. Like, what was that one that they released that was not even like didn't even feel like a legend, just more like a pop singer? So I guess like that's an okay. Thrive Together. I'm not sure about that one, just because like I don't work for them. Because I'm guessing their Thrive Together would have to do with like their esports team, people getting paid and thriving, and the people making the games, the CEOs, all that, like all of them thriving together without any of them like struggling too much, like money wise, career wise, anything like that. Execute with excellence. I know for a fact they've had some terrible launches and with updates and stuff. They aren't quite excellent, and they can't. No one can execute excellence because excellence is basically perfect. No one can hit that. First off, I feel like I'm just dragging the company at this point for their values, but apparently their other thing is stay hungry, stay humble. What do you think they mean by that?
You got me. I would have no clue, hon.
Like what? Hungry for content and just be humble with what you've put out or what us as the players are getting? Who knows? Other than that, they haven't really. I don't really see anything else worth mentioning. Other than apparently their global service, like impact, their social impact with global service day and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure they kind of they run that to some degree.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I digress. Do you want to go into your topic about League of Legends?
Yes. So, my topic of choice for the League of Legends is almost a pet peeve of mine. Because as an artist, I tend to gravitate more towards good design choices, which are like, they're not always the prettiest, but like if it makes sense for the lore, then it doesn't really have to be pretty, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm torn over good character design versus hot people, which is absolutely horrible. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because League of Legends teased their newest champion, who is Viego.
Mm-hmm.
And Viego is supposed to be the Ruined King. For those of you who play League of Legends, yes, that Ruined King, like Blade of the Ruined King. So he's supposed to be, like this shadowy, imposing ruler of like the I can't remember the name, but the mist.
Mm-hmm.
The mist, whatever. And like I pictured him as like some weird mix between Mordekaiser and Thresh. So like this inhuman, large, metal-plated, imposing kind of ruler,
Yeah.
Especially from, the lore, the written lore that they have given us. And what we got for Viego was, shall we say, not that.
Yeah. From what I
sent
saw,
it to you, Salem.
Oh yeah, no. From what I've seen, it's like been nothing but like
he's a twink.
Yeah.
He's an anime pretty boy, and I'm so mad.
Apparently he is very Latino also.
What?
Yeah,
Seriously?
and his accent is very Latino also.
I mean, that's fine by me, but like that is the whitest, pastiest Latino I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if he's gonna be Latino, at least make him look Latino. Like, fucking Christ, Riot, come on. But yeah, like, so you have this twink of all twinks, which I have to say, his kit looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm actually excited to play him. I just wish visually he had more impact.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that Riot, or the people that they've hired at League of Legends, are going on this really kind of weird anime boy trend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little weird for me, because they even took Thresh, like monster Thresh, and made him an ooh pretty anime boy in one of his skins, and I could not wrap my head around it. Like, you have so many twinks in the game, like Ezreal, like that you could very easily make, the ooh pretty anime boy skins for, and then you take Thresh and turn him into the soft anime boy. Like, don't get me wrong, the skin is gorgeous. I'm just confused by it.
Yeah.
And like, I guess I just don't really understand the direction that they wanted to go in with Viego. I wasn't particularly...
They were looking for the thirsty girls.
They were the thirsty gays. Yeah, thirsty girls and gays. But like, the champion before him, Rel, wasn't... She was Like, she wasn't like disappointing, but she also wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
Like, she's pretty, but she also doesn't need to be anything spectacular. She's a soldier, like, she wasn't supposed to be this giant intimidating king, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course we're not getting into Seraphine because that's just Sona 2.0 knockoff. Like I'm really mad about that too, so I'm just gonna go off on a tangent here. They didn't have to release Seraphine. They didn't. They literally could have published Seraphine as a Sona rework, and it would have worked just as well.
Yeah.
And like her kit is almost exactly like Sona's. Her whole songstress vibe is almost exactly like Sona's,
but KDA.
But KDA, and then like one of her first skins is also this 3-tier ultimate skin that basically mirrors Sona's ultimate DJ skin. Like people, like this is such blatant, obvious ripoff of Sona. Like you know when you're like, hey, yeah, you can copy my homework, just don't make it obvious. Well, they just took your homework and turned it in. Like they scribbled out your name and wrote their name in with like red pen or something. Like it was not even subtle.
I have like a part of League of Legends to talk about. First off, why the fuck did you make KDA? Second off, why is it so good?
Okay, so KDA actually came about because they wanted a set skin line, but they didn't want to do Popstar, which already had Ari in it.
Yeah.
And they were doing True Damage at the same time, so they wanted a strictly girl band kind of thing. And I'm gonna tell you now, KDA Evelyn, I will die for.
Yes.
Ari too.
Dude, the
honestly,
music that they put out is so good.
So good, and I hate it. Like, I love it, and I hate that I love it, but it's so good. It is such a bop.
Like,
I hate it.
I sat there and I caught myself listening to their playlist for like a good 4 hours. I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? This is like a video game song, and it's just like, but it's good. And then I just like, back away.
For my finishing statement on League, I do want to say that I do like their skin system. Like, it is a little expensive for some skins because the ultimate skins get up to $20. Right? What the fuck? But I do like that they give you some of the skin shards. I just kind of wish that if you had a box, it was a guaranteed skin shard, not a chance. Because the last 9 boxes I've opened, I kept count, Riot, had no skin shards. I had 1 champion shard each.
Yeah, it's
easy to get skins on Overwatch, and I don't play Overwatch!
Honestly. Well, I mean, it comes out, but okay, I do have to give them like credit. Like that's how they make their money, is by you buying skins. But like, honestly,
well, yeah, no, I know that. I just kind of wish some of them weren't so expensive.
Exactly. Like, if there's something we need to talk about, Riot, like, let us know if you're hurting. There's Patreon. Everyone would love to see the KDAs.
But you could always make Seraphine a cam girl, then people will finally love her for who she is.
I'm just gonna let that one slide.
I don't like Seraphine, okay? I really don't.
I don't care. Because I'm just like,
well, I know you don't play Legends, but I do. So
I mean, I play it for Senna occasionally, and then after that, I stop playing.
Okay, so when they released the Ruination preview thing on their live stream, like it had Senna and Lucian, and like they are the hottest couple in League of Legends, hands down. Like, them both step on me at the same time.
Please.
But like, just the last time I got that excited artistically for a video that they released was their Star Guardian bit, where they introduced Zoe, Zaya, and Rakan, and Nico. Like, that was the last time I had
that
ever gotten
KDA's technically their bits.
No, because that's their music drop. Okay, I'm talking about like lore for like skins or events.
KDA's lore. What do you mean?
Shut up. We're not talking about KDA anymore. Okay, I'm gonna start simping.
Same. So
okay, honey, just talk about Valorant. Talk about Valorant.
We'll move on to Valorant. Okay, so first off, Valorant actually does have some lore, in case anyone hasn't heard. So Valorant takes place in a version of Earth in the near future following an event known as First Light. This event spans the entire globe, leading to big transformations to life, technology, how the government operates, like you name it. However, select people across the globe start to gain abilities stemming from this massive event. Can anyone say Overwatch? Okay, anyways.
We're not saying it's a ripoff, but it's just really similar.
It's basic. I'm not even kidding you. Like, the lore is basically like they took Overwatch's lore to some degree, like, and then took how CS:GO plays and then made them have a baby. Not even kidding. But anyways, however, select people across the globe start to gain abilities stemming from the massive event. Blah 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 blah. They're called Radiants. Like that's their instead of heroes, their people are called Radiants. In response to First Light, a shadow organization founds the Valorant protocol, which pulls together agents from all over the world. These agents consist of Radiants and other individuals equipped with Radiant technology. Due to the backstories of these characters, basically. The Valorant teams feature interesting dynamics as the individual not only sometimes know each other, but they also come from a whole spectrum of backgrounds ranging from crime to the military. Overwatch. But apparently, like, if you want a quick description of the game, Valorant is a 5v5 precise tactical shooter with a lethal cast of characters set on a near future Earth. In Valorant abilities create unique opportunities for your gunplay to shine. In short, what they're trying to say is flash, 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 smoke, wall of flame, smoke, flash, grenade. Now that you're done with that, now you can shoot your gun. Okay, so the game actually is really fun. I've enjoyed it. I really, really hate how much money the skins cost, because it is a Riot game. So
Riot!
That's how they make their money. It's free to play. Their anti-cheat system doesn't work worth a damn, by the way.
I mean, does anyone's ever?
Honestly, But I just recently started playing again because they did have a major bug when they released, not the newest one that just came out, but the one before then, where like it just wouldn't let me play. It asked me to restart my computer like 15 times before I could open it, and then when I opened it, I had no textures and everything looked like putty.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So wasn't able to play. And no, this is not my computer. I am running a 2070 in my computer and a high-end Ryzen, so like no reason I should have those problems.
None whatsoever. And yet
here we are. But they honestly have really good map design. Like, the game is pretty itself. The characters are actually genuinely good. I also stopped playing the game because they nerfed Killjoy. Killjoy was my favorite character. She has a turret and grenades. Like, she was the Symmetra in this game that I wanted and needed. Ow. Sorry, I had a hangnail. But yeah, so you get 1 life per round. There's characters that can res, which kind of pissed people off. A character that can res, which pissed people off because it's their ultimate.
Mercy.
Basically, she also heals.
Mercy.
But everyone kind of bitched that like that was the thing, that you said you weren't gonna be anything like Overwatch, no res, no heal, no this, and they're like, well, it's a team-based game, and we also promise like RPG elements, aka abilities. if you make an RPG type game without a heal, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So of course, something to kind of emphasize more that she's a healer. Of course, they're gonna give her like a resurrect ability, though you have to get like 8 kills in order to use it. Because they bitched enough that it went from 5 to 8 charges, which you can also grab orbs and stuff around. The game is well done, but they really need to work on. They've never done a first-person shooter game before. They've done abilities, because look at League, but they don't know how to balance guns. They really don't. There's just some guns that are just way too powerful for no reason, and some abilities that are way too powerful for no reason. Whenever Killjoy first came out, her like swarm grenade could kill people in like a second. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Abilities aren't supposed to be able to really kill other than the grenades through rays. Or Reyes, however you... Or, no, it's rays. In short, the game has it's good and it's bad, just like every other game. I would love for them to be able to balance the guns a little bit better, rather than just kind of following CSGO's lead and being like, the Vandal, also known as the AK-47, is the #1 gun to use, and the Operator is the same thing as the Op in that game, and it's the #1 gun too. Like, that shouldn't be the only 2 guns run. You should be able to use any gun. Just saying. But I digress. That's it for me for Valorant. There's not too much information to know because they don't really have that much lore out yet with the characters, even though they promised there was going to be lore. I think there's some lore with the maps, but I don't want to go into it until we know more about it, just because of the fact that, like, it'd be a tiny tidbit.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, when League of Legends first came out, they didn't have any, like, expansive lore until, like, a few years in. I mean, like, they had lore, but it wasn't
enough to...
depth.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to suck you in. Not yet.
Yeah. Not like now. Now it's, oh my god, there's so much lore, and...
Joining in
anyway.
and trying to keep up is just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, especially with all the different universes and the skins and stuff, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
And then we're gonna segue from traditional League of Legends and Valorant into Riot's best creation ever, Teamfight Tactics.
And it's on phone, it's cross-plat, and it's just so fun. Like,
yeah, so it's for PC, it's for phone. You can actually play on your phone with yourself on your PC if you have 2 accounts. Just saying.
Totally haven't done that myself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Totally haven't done that myself. Not at all. Not even slightly. What? So Teamfight Tactics is it's a tactics game. Basically, literally, you get League of Legends characters and you place them on a board and they fight for themselves. Mm-hmm. So it's all AI controlled. You pretty much just set up your board and you fight the 7 other people or mobs to get items to buff your characters.
And there's sometimes that your AI is fucking stupid.
The AI is shit. And, well,
specifically with flankers, specifically, they are stupid.
Yeah.
AKA assassins. What's the other one? The Shades. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So, Teamfight Tactics is a really fun idle game. I usually play it while I'm drawing because I pretty much tell them what to do, and then they fight for themselves. And then, I don't know, like a minute and a half later, I tell them what to do, and they fight for themselves. It's an auto chess. If you're looking for a specific genre, it's an auto chess. It's a really fun game just to pick up. Not much, there's little to know, but also a lot to know when you first pick it up. Basically, you need to understand how the money works, aka how to save it, how you can get more of it after each round, what the rounds do, how to level up your people, and stuff like that, which leveling up your people, it's 3 bronze equal a silver, 3 silvers equal a gold. Gold is the highest. So you want to buy that same character.
Unless in the current meta, if you have Moonlight, you can actually get to platinum.
Which is honestly kind of
really
broken.
specific, but yeah, it is kind of broken. But we're not going there. Anyway. The game is free to play just like League of Legends is. Mm-hmm. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just absolutely love Teamfight Tactics with all of my heart.
Oh my god, me too.
Except for space. We don't talk about space.
I didn't play throughout space. I didn't touch space.
We don't talk about space. They've basically had 3.5 sets. The first set, the second set, which was space, and then they came out with a revised space set, and then the current set, which is honestly probably my favorite out of all of them. It's free to play, but you can pay for skins or what they call little legends.
Yeah.
I currently have what's called a Dark Mist Umbra at tier 3. He's this cute little tiny black dragon who oozes this like tealy green mist, and he plays the guitar, and he's so cute, and I love him so much. I'm so glad I spent money on him.
I have a chonk, which is this little, like...
It's a chonk.
It's a chonk. It's literally...
His name's pretty straightforward.
And mine's pink, specifically. I love it. I love chonk with a passion. I want a squid, too. I'd change back and forth between them.
Yeah, me too. Oh, fun fact about the chonk, he plays the drums with his tail and his belly, so when we play together, we can make music together.
It's so good. And yes, there's emoting with your character. So you have your little legend, which is you, and then you, of course, you have like the actual people, which it changes constantly. There's also classes / attributes, like you'll have like fighters, brawlers, blah 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 blah, and you build them. Yeah. The game honestly doesn't have much to it, but it has a lot to it. Just picking up the game, it's a lot. It's like Smite. It's a lot to learn at first, but once you have it, you pretty much master it.
Yeah.
Then it just comes down to positioning.
It's a sharp curve, but it's also a very sharp plateau.
Yeah.
Like you pretty much just figure out the entire game all at once. You might figure out a special thing here or there.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a pretty simple game. It's a really easy, casual game. If you're a person like me who likes to do stuff with their hands but likes extra stimulation, like when I sew or when I draw, I like to have something playing in the background so I can do either like YouTube videos or I can play Teamfight Tactics. And I don't even have to be at my computer because I can do it on my phone.
Yeah.
# not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Definitely not sponsored. I think.
Okay, so we're about halfway through our segment, or halfway through our podcast.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to TFT, or do we want to head off to upcoming games?
One last thing to add is like I have multiple friends that don't like auto chess, and they actually, after finally talking them into playing it, actually enjoy Teamfight Tactics. So if you're wary about like playing it because you don't like auto chess or anything like that, give it a shot. Give it how many games would you say? Roughly 10 before you just stop. Give it 10 games before you decide whether you hate it or not, because you will slowly understand the game as you play.
When you first start, like any game, you're gonna not be enjoying yourself if you're not doing well, and if you don't know how to play the game, you're pretty much not gonna do well because you don't know what you're doing. You're not gonna get the good characters, the good items. You know, it's also a heavily RNG game because it's it's partially luck based. It's also partially skill based. Mm-hmm. So there's no guarantee, even if you're the best Teamfight Tactics player in existence, that you're going to win every single time. But the top 4 slots are winning slots. So keep that in mind if you're a person who doesn't take failure well.
So number 4 will gain hardly any LP. Number 3 gains a decent chunk. Number 2 gains a heckin' chunk, and then
And then
first
one is
place
just
is
like,
just like,
hell yeah.
yeah, they gain like upwards of like 80. Honestly, that's the max you can gain with.
And
as
that's
rank
only
1.
if you're playing ranked, which
Ranked.
honestly, if you're playing Teamfight Tactics, you should just play ranked because there's
no real
literally
reason
no
not
difference
to.
between ranked and normal. And you like
Oh, you can play with up to 3 of your friends, by the way, and communicate
yeah.
to some degree. Like
So
with
if you're
me and
playing
V.
ranked, you can only have a 4-man party. Anything more than that, it'll force you to play normal.
No, it's only 3. Like you and 2 others. They don't allow 4 anymore. They lowered it.
What? No. Well, I don't have that many friends who play it, so I wouldn't know.
But yeah, so you and your 2 other friends can like kind of just chit chat and be like, "Hey, I'm running this. Can you try not to touch it?"
And then they touch all of it.
Yeah, and then that's all the game gives them, and then shits on you, and is like, "Yes, RNGesus." Yeah, let's move on to upcoming games. We have quite a few.
So we'll just start down the list.
Yeah. Well, let's start with number 3, just because we just really only need to be like, hey, we have a release day.
Okay, so the Prince of Persia remake game that we talked about a while back,
literally last podcast.
The last podcast. Well, I don't know. Like I'm not used to this. Okay, so the Prince of Persia remake that we talked about on the last podcast actually has a release date now. It is March 18th, 2021. It actually looks pretty decent. Like
20 really did win. God,
it really did win. So 2K21. Whoop whoop. It is available for pre-order for those of you who are super diehard Prince of Persia fans. Whoop whoop. I probably won't be pre-ordering it. I will probably buy it once it's pre-owned and kind of cheaper because I've already played the game. Yeah. If it is truly a remake, it's going to be the whole story again, and I already paid for the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. So.
Oh my god!
I was super excited because I wanted them, but I didn't have to pre-order them, because it's literally a game I've already played. Okay, so the first new upcoming game that we want to talk about is Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. And it's an action role-playing game. It's developed by Cyanide and published by Nacon. It's based on the tabletop role-playing game Werewolf the Apocalypse, and it's part of the World of Darkness series. And the game is planned for release on February 4th for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, not S.
Oh, it's going to be released on you-know-whose birthday.
Anyway.
That's bad juju. Not pre-ordering it.
Bad juju. I mean, it looks really interesting. I am a fan of the Werewolf board game.
Yeah.
I'm also just, in general, a fan of board games. If you know me, then yeah. The story follows Cahal, which is an eco-terrorist werewolf who's been banished from his tribe, and he fights against a corporation and pollution, and yeah, he can shapeshift into human, wolf, and werewolf. So there's a difference between wolf and werewolf. So apparently he can go from human to wolf and in between. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how that's going to work, but I am kind of excited to see where it goes. Once that comes out, I'll probably end up buying it, and I'll give you guys a in-depth review of that then.
Yeah. Next we have Harvest Moon, which, might I just say, the collector's edition has a really cute chicken plushie.
I know, I'm so tempted to pre-order just to get the little chicken. Harvest Moon One World is a new installment in, obviously, the very acclaimed Harvest Moon series. It is a drastic improvement on the Harvest Moon graphics, but I'm also not that impressed with it, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah. What I am impressed with is the dimensions for the chicken plush. 5-inch length, 5-inch width, and then 5-inch height. That's a chonker!
It's a chunky boy! So the game itself is like, it looks like a lot of the old Harvest Moon games. So like the really chunky, large plot.
Oh god,
Do you
it
remember
is.
the
It's
the
very
Harvest Moon?
cube-based.
Yeah, it's very cube-based, which I find really surprising because a lot of people don't like that, myself included.
Oh, okay, so
And
it looks slightly better with the 3D part where they're talking, but then I noticed
yeah, I know.
that
So yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
it's weird. Wait, it's like good, but it's not. Wait,
Yeah, so like
it's
when
like
they're
two
having the
generations.
dialogue,
Yeah, it's like 2 generations behind in graphics.
yeah, exactly. It looks like the PlayStation 2 Harvest Moon, the one where you're saving your town or whatever.
But like slightly better. It's like in between PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3.
It's like they refined it, but they're still using the really janky dimensions. It's like they just reskinned it.
Oh, wait.
But like you understand what I'm saying, right? Like
I'm
that's
looking
accurate,
at
right?
it. Yes, it's accurate.
And then you get to the part where people are talking, and
Is it
you
at
have
least
the sprites
co-op?
pop up, but the sprites are 3D, and like okay, like honestly, I'm torn between pre-ordering it for the chicken and then not spending money on this game. Like, if anyone finds the chicken plush for Harvest Moon 1 World on its own, please
Let us
send me a
know.
message. I need this chonky boy, and I don't want to pay for this game. I really don't. It's like it looks like an old PlayStation 2 game, but it just got reskinned. Go
Honestly.
look it up. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I was super excited for a new Harvest Moon game because I grew up on Harvest Moon,
I was on and off of it.
Speaking of which, so side note, since we're talking about Harvest Moon, it's unknown if you can be gay in this new Harvest Moon game, but they are re-releasing Friends of Mineral Town and more Friends of Mineral Town on, I believe it's the Switch, but I'm not 100% certain. My memory is very faulty, as we all know.
Yeah.
But they're re-releasing it, and you can be gay.
Ooh.
Yes. So they're taking a page from Stardew Valley. They are removing the gender limits. I'm actually excited about that. I do... Honestly, I kind of hope the game comes out and people are like, oh yeah, no, the plot is, so worth it. Just buy the game, ignore the graphics. And I'm going to cave and I'm going to buy it. And then I'm going to be really mad that I didn't pre-order because I didn't get the chonky boy.
Honestly, okay, how about this?
I could make that.
I was gonna be like, how about we split it and we pre-order it, you get the chonky boy, and then we'll just you play the game and then send it to me, and then I play the game, and then we decide whether or not we want to return the game.
Sell it for some trade-in money at GameStop. I mean,
basically. Okay, let's get to something not so depressing like Harvest Moon World.
Am I really willing to pay $50 for a chonky boy plush?
I am.
I know.
Let's move on to move on and go for Back for Blood. First off, can I just say the graphics so far look so crisp.
So good. So
my
good.
God.
So for those of you who don't know, Back for Blood is the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. It is not a quote sequel, but it is a sequel. Yeah. We'll say. It is a zombie apocalypse, and you have the infested or the infected or whatever you want to call it, and then you have the special super infected. And from what I can see, there's this tanky boy who is...
Wait, it's by Warner Brothers?
Yeah, it's by Warner Brothers. You didn't notice?
I knew Turtle Rock was working on it, but I didn't know Warner Brothers was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so you have your typical Left 4 Dead style. You have 4 characters, 3 dudes and a chick, of course, because we can't have more female representation. But I
Honestly,
digress. I digress. So
I
you
think one of
have
them
the
is
4
trans.
people.
Actually,
Oh,
they haven't said exactly, but I'm pretty sure one of them's trans. Watch it be.
that's fair.
I'm honestly looking at all of them. I'm trying to think of like who it would be though.
So, the game has a cooperative story campaign. So it has you can either do it single player with 3 AIs, or you can play with your friends. There is competitive multiplayer, which I don't know how that's going to work. I think it might be where one person plays as the infested and then the other people play as the survivor.
Mhm.
Very Dead by Daylight-esque. You just try to kill each other or make it out, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, it looks so crisp. There is a website. It's Back 4 Blood, like the number 4, not
Oh,
the
okay.
letter 4.
So the
Letters.
Ultimate Edition
Hey,
actually.
hey, I'm talking.
I was
I'm
gonna.
trying to give them links. There is a website, back4blood.com. It's the number 4, not like letters 4. If you want to go check it out, they have a trailer. They have an FAQ for those who are really interested. You can also sign up for the closed beta. I don't know if that's still running, but you can also pre-order it directly from their website.
The closed
It
beta
has
is only through the Ultimate Edition now.
Yeah.
No more sign up. Free sign up.
Okay. There's a standard edition, a digital deluxe edition, and then the ultimate edition, which is just like, honestly, I'm so stoked for this game. I love Left 4 Dead. I have both of them. I have Left 4 Dead and then Left 4 Dead 2, which has Left 4 Dead in it. So like, I'm
I have all 3.
Back 4 Blood.
I have the original Left 4 Dead 2, which didn't have Left 4 Dead 1 in it, so I have all 3.
Nice. So you have 2 copies of each game,
basically. But I wanted to mention something. There's gonna be an annual pass, which adds in more story, of course, and more playable characters. We might have more than one woman's. And then apparently even more like special mutated ridden. They're called mutated ridden. And the normal zombies are called just ridden, apparently.
Because they're ridden with disease.
Literally. It comes with 4 character battle hardened skins. Skin packs. 4 skin packs. So not just 4 skins. Oh, okay. In addition, it gives you a rare banner, emblem, spray, and title. It's gonna be on PS5, PS4, Xbox X, and Xbox One, and PC, of course. Sadly, not on Switch 2. Honestly, with how the graphics look, I don't know how it would run on the Switch.
I don't know if it would run that well, honestly.
On PC, it's on Steam and Epic. Definitely buying it on Steam because fuck Epic.
Epic has a lot of issues, unfortunately, that I've
noticed.
Epic
has been sued for slave labor, and no one wants to talk about that.
I didn't know about that, but that's a topic for next podcast.
Anyways,
Back
4 Blood has lots of similar, like, as they put it, special mutated ridden, as same as special zombies in Left 4 Dead. They have like a spitter type esque person, a tank type esque one. They have a few new ones that are like almost completely different from others. Honestly, there's not really much to talk about other than like how well it looks like it's gonna play. The trailer, which looked phenomenal. The graphics are gonna be amazing. If they do put this on the Switch, I really hope they dumb it down a bit. Probably go with like Left 4 Dead 2's actual like 3D modeling type of style, because it would actually run on the Switch. Though they are coming out with new Switches that are going to have more power and different graphics card and CPU, so it might be able to run it. Who knows? Specifically for the digital deluxe version, If you buy that one, it's only 4-day early access to Back for Blood. Also only comes with the annual pass that we're talking about earlier with the new stuff coming out. Standard edition, you only get the base game. Ultimate edition, you gain the skin packs, and then the additional digital in-game items, such as the banner and all that. The game looks good. I hope it lives up to our sadly, this is a game that is gonna have a lot of expectations just because it has to live up for Left 4 Dead. It's Left 4 Dead is the reason games like this are sought after. So let's hope it lives up to his expectations.
Honestly, them playing off of the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, which it actually is, like people who worked on Left 4 Dead, the creator of Left 4 Dead is actually working on this project.
Yes.
So it is, in essence, a spiritual successor, and a lot of people are looking forward to that. So they're going to buy this game, which is actually helping them get the word out, which is really nice. And I'm really happy that they can work with that.
Oh, if you pre-order, you get a Fort Hope Elite Weapon Skin Pack. So there's going to be weapon skins. There's going to be skins for a lot of things. Wow.
All right. Well, maybe I won't have to so heavily mod this one.
Right. Honestly, from what it seems, they're going to keep adding maps, adding to the story and everything. Like, there won't be a Back for Blood 2, apparently. They'll just keep expanding Back for Blood.
Well, that sounds good.
From what they've said on their Twitter, which I follow their Twitter, I follow their Instagram. I'm in their Discord. I'm not following their Facebook just because fuck Facebook. I am also subbed to them on YouTube. Like, I'm following literally just about everything they do. They are wanting this to be a game that can be alive for a long time, like how Overwatch, League of Legends, like those type of games live for a really long time. They want to just keep expanding the same game. And I'm super excited to see how this goes and hope it goes well. I'm hoping they don't back out like Pokemon Sword and Shield did, where they're like, we're just going to do 2 DLC and back out. And then now they're working on a new one. But honestly, high hopes for it. Hope it works out. Fingers crossed.
I cannot tell you how hyped I am for this game.
I'm pre-ordering it as soon as I get the chance. How much is it actually for? I forgot to check. How much is the biggest one? I can actually check, right? Pre-order. PC, Steam, pre-order now. How much is it? The Ultimate Edition is $100. Oh. I mean, I'm not getting...
I'll probably end up buying it, so...
Yeah, I probably still will. Just because I want the early access. Plus, I was be like, well, maybe I'll just go with the Deluxe Edition. It's like literally $5 to $10 off. That's it. Might as well pay that extra 10 at that point. So I most likely will be buying Back for Blood. 100%. Ultimate Edition. Moving on, we have a little bit of time left. Do you want to just go over number 5 and then probably leave it at that until next time?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. Okay. So we could probably do 5 and 6 because this one doesn't have a lot because the next topic on our list is Tales of Arise, and Tales of Arise has been teased for like the past 2 years. It's by Bandai Namco. It is the newest installment of my favorite Tales series, which I did in a previous podcast. I covered all of it. They're typically really hush-hush about the bigger details of their stories, but Tales of Arise seems to have a 2 main character, 2 storyline deal going for them. So it's going to be like Tales of Xillia again with Jude and Mila. The graphics are phenomenal. They look superb. I cannot tell you. I saw one of the previews and it's literally just an open field with the 2 main characters, and I literally just sat there staring at it because it just looks It is,
Honestly, I'm hoping they come out with a demo.
probably. I know for a fact I'm going to buy it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it digitally or if I'm going to buy it hard copy. But if I do end up buying it digitally, I'll let you download it.
Okay.
Um,
If there's the only reason why I think you would buy the physical copy is if it like chonker chicken,
chicken.
um, like
Yeah.
I could definitely see that with it being like in the works for what 2 years, right? Like they're probably gonna come out with some like buy this version and get this like figurine and this and because they always do that when it's pushed back a couple times they kind of have to please you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. The Tales series is actually they do end up releasing a lot of DLC, like cosmetic DLC, and I am not immune to buying pretty outfits for my characters.
Exactly.
I am not above that. I bought schoolgirl uniforms for all of my girl characters.
Oh, or hookerish ones. There's some games where you just like straight. It's like, look, here's them in a swimsuit fighting the last boss, and it's like, wait, what?
I'm in a swimsuit fighting God.
It's just like, oh, wait, are you trying to distract God with your titties or something?
I mean, there was actually one character. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was one character in Tales of Berseria who is dressed up like a jester.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me with my coulrophobia, jesters kind of tickle that fear, so I had to buy her an outfit. I had to. I had to get her out of that. I could not do it. I couldn't.
You're like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Ooh, yeah.
Take my shit and leave. So, like I said, not much is known. The release date isn't official yet, but it is speculated to be 2021.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping it is at least like summer 2021.
I'm excited that it's gonna be like two different stories that kind of combine together. I love those types of stories.
Oh yeah, no, like they did it really well with Tales of Xillia because it's the same story, but when the characters broke off, they had their entire own segments, and it explored the characterization like just so well. Also, this is going to be for PC and Switch. So those of us looking forward to more Switch games,
me,
this is going to be a really fun addition once it comes out.
Oh, by the way, 9 Parchments. I wanted to talk about this to you later, but we can get into it if we have some time left real fast after the next one.
Honestly, I was thinking we just cover the rest of the list because they won't take that long.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one is Digimon Survive. No release date yet. It was pushed back from 2020. And basically, this new game is a survival game. You are on a camping trip with your classmates and you end up in the digital world, and you have to literally survive and fight and make your way home. So it's like the first anime, but in game format.
I'm actually excited for that, just because
I am too.
That's what I wanted out of every single Digimon game, was like, just give us the plot. Give us the plot.
Yeah, give us the plot. But like I'm super excited. Like there's no real teasers yet, so like there's no meat to get my claws into, but once it comes out, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it so hard.
Dude, same.
So the next one is part of the Dark Pictures anthology. So if you played Manamadan or Little Hope, this is the next installment. It's called House of Ashes. It basically just says 2021. Basically, a military team is searching for chemical weapons underneath Sumerian ruins or something, and then they stir some ancient evil. And honestly, I'm hoping House of Ashes does better than Little Hope did, because Little Hope teased about like time travel and ghosts and stuff, and then it was just psychosis. So
if I
spoiler
remember,
warning, sorry.
If I remember, that one kind of flopped bad enough that like I even didn't hear about it until like a year after it was out.
The game was really good until the last 5 minutes. And then they just undid all of their hard work.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. They could have. I would have waited another month for a better ending.
Mm-hmm.
I digress. I'm just really hoping House of Ashes is a lot better. I don't know if it will be. I'm still gonna buy it because I'm hoping, beyond hope. And then the last bit for my list is Five Nights at Freddy's 8, because this will be the 8th game in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. It's called Security Breach.
I'm wondering when they're gonna end like the series. Like, do they have that planned already?
No one knows what Scott Cawthon is thinking. No one. I mean, this guy has like 12 books, 14 books, something like that. He's got so many books, and this will be the 8th game. And so supposedly this one is going to be another VR game, which I actually really enjoyed. Help Wanted. What we've seen so far from the preview is a very kind of futuristic 80s mall.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I can glean from their released statues, which there's already merch for this game. This game's not even out yet. And their teaser videos. You play as a young boy who is hiding from a new killer whose name is Vanessa, whatever you want to call her, who wears a bunny mask. And you have to hide using the help of either Glam Rock or Rockstar Freddy or whatever you want to call him. His design is a little funny, not gonna lie, but he's also supposed to be the good guy.
Oh.
So, that's a nice flip on its head. You know, you're getting help from Freddy instead of Freddy trying to kill you, even if it's by accident, because he's just trying to make sure you're wearing your suit, which I highly doubt that's, actually. But the design for Vanny, whatever you want to say, is actually really interesting. It's not like an animatronic suit. It's just like she's a furry, okay? She's got a fursuit on, and it's a bunny, and it's hilarious. Yeah. She's chasing people with a knife, and all I can think to myself
Bon, why are you murdering people?
Bon, no. So yeah, it's actually, it looks really interesting, and I'm 99.9% sure I'm gonna buy it. But the one thing I have to note that I'm really uncomfortable with for this game, Freddy's voice was very hot. And I'm mad.
Okay.
Why are you doing this to me? Scott Cawthon, what the fuck? I am in no way, shape, or form attracted to any of the animatronics. It's just the voice. I have a thing for voices. And Freddy's voice in the preview was just really nice. And it was nice and deep, and I'm just like, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
But that concludes my list of upcoming games, and hopefully I can update you on some of these soon.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so what did you want to talk about, Salem?
So, real quick, I wanted to go over a game called Nine Parchments. It was brought up to my attention, actually, by my friend Chris, who just moved. Because we're looking at, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm looking for more Switch games. I'm just like, I'm really not feeling like I ever touch my Switch other than for Smash. And he was like, well, there's this game that you should look into, and it's called Nine Parchments. I looked into it. I watched some gameplay over it. I have been looking for a game that plays like Gauntlet Legends from the Dreamcast for a really long time. This game looks and feels like that game, and I'm so happy I found it. I would recommend it to anyone and everyone, and I'll be playing it soon, hopefully streaming it soon, as soon as I can change my, stream to the correct name. Which
There is a demo if you want to download it.
Yeah, I think I already downloaded it. I was gonna start it tonight at some point.
It looks really, really nice graphically, honestly. Like I just heard about this, but that is some really nice graphics, and it's only $20.
Yeah. I haven't bought it yet because my friend Chris was actually gonna buy it for me. He has to go get his buy a charger for his Switch because the bitch left
it's from the same people who did Trine.
Yeah. I have all of the Trine games, by the way.
I have the first 3.
There was like a bundle pack that for all of them, and it was on sale before I moved from Ohio. I bought them all. I was like, I want. But it looks like it's gonna be a real fun game, and I can't wait to try it tonight. And then once I have the game, continue playing it and letting y'all know what it's like for sure. But even without any of that, I would definitely recommend it.
So what you're saying is if I buy it, we can play together.
Yeah. 100%.
Cool. So that's going on to my list of things to buy when I'm not a broke bitch.
Yeah. And I do want to let everyone know before the podcast ends. Some things happened with my stream revolving a priest that did what to 15 of them specifically. When you look them up, it brought up my stream, so streaming has been slowed down and everything for me. Just a little bit to every other day instead of every single day. I was getting death threats and a whole bunch of other stuff going on with it.
Basically, people decided to do a Google search on this priest and decided that a very flamboyant, at the time, thought gay boy was this priest who did terrible things.
By the way, this was this priest. It happened back. I think it was in the 80s from what I've researched. This happened back in the 80s.
You weren't even alive then.
Yeah, and he's just now being tried. So it was a bunch of keyboard warriors that didn't want to do the research. They just saw, oh look, he streams.
Right.
When he doesn't.
That's absolutely how that works.
So that's why it's no longer Leroy Valentine on Twitch. It's Leroux. But because I changed it to Leroux, I can't change it to Salem for 2 whole months because that's how Twitch works. And I've emailed them and they still won't. And apparently enough of those people flagged me that my paychecks from Twitch are being held until it's over with. So that's fun.
Yay.
But that's pretty much all we have for the podcast tonight. Thank y'all so much for listening. We've had fun.
Pretty much all. We covered an hour, hun.
Literally, we've covered a whole ass hour. I'm honestly, we were doing this for fun. I was kind of forced into it because I had a contract to fulfill. And I just happened to be like, sis, come help me.
And I was like, okay, boo.
And honestly, it's been great. Okay, so as y'all know, anxiety and depression are, assholes. But sometimes, you kind of do need a reason to, hang out with someone just to get yourself out of that. And me and V really weren't talking that much or playing games together all that often anymore. And this honestly brought it back. We're playing games together more. We're actually spending time together. And honestly, the podcast has just been fun for the both of us.
Honestly, I didn't expect myself to have this much fun. I thought it would be more like a chore, just helping out my sister. But I'm having fun with it, and I didn't think I would.
Getting to talk about one of our passions, which is video games, and just nerdy things in general, has been so great. And of course, with me not technically being gay, but being a straight trans woman, doesn't mean we're changing the name.
You're under the spectrum of queer.
Yes, I am under the spectrum of queer. We're keeping gamer nerds. Nothing's changing. other than my voice whenever I get on estrogen. um, yeah, thank y'all so much for watching and supporting us. We love you. Bye.
Bye.